If only you guys knew how hot it is here. Hi guys, how are you doing? So I really was hesitant to talk about this because, as you probably have noticed, I really never talk about relationships because I think that I don't really know much about it, and also because I just think that it's very complicated and it's really hard to understand one person. It's really hard to understand yourself, and it's almost impossible to understand the communication and the connection between two people because it's just way too hard. But what I'm going to talk about, as you probably have already guessed from the title, is it has to do more with your relationship with yourself. So I've been thinking about it for more than half a year already, and so I just realized that I have to get it out there. This is just my opinion that I want to share. You are very free to disagree, and actually let me know down in the comments what do you think about this. So I have some friends and I know some people who feel really uncomfortable when they are not in a relationship, and if they are not in a relationship at the moment, they're constantly looking for a new one, and they don't really know how to be alone. And there is actually a lot of people like that. I am definitely the opposite. I am pretty comfortable on my own. When I was growing up, I was the only child, and also I was younger than every child in the community that I was growing up. My parents' friends and family and all that, like I was always the youngest, and so I was always left to my own devices. So I never had a problem of being bored on my own. And also I never had a problem not having a partner. A lot of people have this image of not being valuable enough if they are not in a relationship, because they think that if no one wants them, then they are undesirable or they are not worthy or something, which I think is definitely wrong to its core. But yeah, I think that it's very important to be in a relationship and to be alone, and there should be a balance. And even if you are in a relationship, I think it's pretty necessary to spend some time on your own, because this is how you reconnect to your true self, and you can like check up with your own values, with your own thoughts, because in relationships we are of course influenced by the other person, and we change a lot and we morph a lot to accommodate each other. And if it's not a casual relationship, which I don't think in your 20s you should waste time on, if it's not a casual relationship, it will change you and it will be difficult, and it's always a lot of learning, a lot of compromising, and so it definitely has a huge effect on you and your personality and your taste and all that. So it is very important to be alone from time to time and know how to be alone and just do this like mental checkup with yourself. So why I think it is very important to be happy by yourself, because some people can be alone but they still feel like there is something missing. And why I think you should work on being more comfortable with just yourself is, first of all, if you are comfortable with just yourself, you're not going to be desperate for a relationship, and you won't just settle for anybody. Because when you feel empty, when you feel that there is something that you lack and you look for it in another person, you will become dependent on that other person, because they will be the necessity for your well-being, and it is not a healthy relationship. And not only will it be codependent, but also you can easily enter an abusive relationship like this, because then your partner will know that they can do basically anything and you will not leave because you don't feel good on your own, and you will not be able to negotiate, because in order to negotiate you need to be able to just stand up and walk away. Which, by the way, I'm not saying that like in any sign of conflict or misunderstanding, you should just stand up and walk away from a relationship. This is definitely not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you are in an abusive relationship, or if there is something fundamentally wrong with your relationship and you want to discuss it with your partner, you need to be able to just stand up and walk away and know that you will be fine, or maybe even better on your own, because otherwise you will just be constantly changing yourself for that other person when they are not happy with something about you. And I don't think that it is a healthy situation to be in. Another thing is that when two people come into a relationship, they need to bring something to the table. So when you are looking for someone, you need to not think that, well, I need someone who would compliment me, or someone who will give me love, or someone who will take me places. If you want something from a relationship, you should be able to give the same amount back. So if you want someone who is caring, you need to be caring. You need to take care of yourself, you need to take care of your friends and family, and you need to sort of cultivate these features in yourself in order to attract the same kind of person. If you want someone who's adventurous and creative, you need to be adventurous and creative on your own, because then you will just be this parasite that sucks the energy out of the other person and never brings anything back. So you need to actually be able to contribute something positive to the other person's life, and not only be the person who only takes and takes. And for that, you need to be kind of interesting enough for yourself to be around. So if you are not interesting enough for yourself to be alone, then why do you think you will be interesting for the other person? Another thing that I notice a lot, and I definitely used to have it myself, so I refused to travel that much on my own, because I was thinking, well, I will eventually be in a relationship and I will travel with that person and blah blah blah. And then the first serious relationship that I had was with a person who was definitely not a traveler, and we didn't really travel together. And the moral of the story is that you don't plan on other people. You shouldn't base your plans for the future on other people, especially those who you don't even really know yet, like my future partner, because you need to live your life as if you already have everything that you want to have, because this is how you will finally have what you want to have. It's not necessary that you will meet a person who will be into the same stuff that you are, and I think it's kind of healthy to even have separate interests as a couple, because when you are constantly together, I think it can also become quite toxic. Although it's just my opinion, I know a lot of couples who are always together and they are pretty happy with that. But I think that, yeah, so don't wait to do something, or to travel somewhere, or to have some experiences for the time when you are going to be in a relationship. Just go and do it right now with yourself, with your friends. I actually love traveling on my own, and it's not because I don't have someone to travel with, it's just because I really feel that this is how I get the most of my experiences, because then I am just by myself and I can reflect on what is happening. And when I'm traveling with someone, I'm more focused on the other person and their relationship that we are having, and conversations that we are having, and so on. So I like traveling with people, don't get me wrong, but I also love traveling on my own and also doing other things on my own. For example, today I am taking myself to a movie, and I don't feel lonely for that, and it's not because I don't have someone to go with me, it's just because I want to spend time on my own. I want to take myself to a movie, and I feel definitely fine with that. And I don't think that having a lunch by yourself or something like that is shameful. I think that we should do that more often, because yeah, we should take ourselves on dates and do things that you would rather do as a couple, but on your own, because this is how you reconnect with your being and so on. By the way, let me know if you want me to film something like a self-care routine, or like self-care things that I do, because I have a lot of them and I think that it might be interesting for someone. I think the moral of what I was talking about here today is that we need to be in a relationship in order to grow, and we definitely learn a lot about ourselves and other people and how we deal with conflicts and how we deal with differences when we are in a relationship. But we need the time on our own also to reflect on what we learned, to reconnect with ourselves and find out what matters to us, what are our values now, and to just kind of be in this space. I think that it's very important to know how to communicate, to know that relationships are hard work and that it's not always going to be easy peasy, but this is what makes it beautiful, and this is why we enter relationships in the first place, because we want to become better people and we want to grow and we want to find this connection and be vulnerable and all that, and we need to be able to do that. And I believe that in order to be able to do that, it's necessary to know how to be on your own, and it's necessary to sort of learn to be comfortable and learn to be interesting enough so that you don't just trade your company of yourself for just anyone because you are bored on yourself. I hope that you liked the video. Let me know if you did. And yeah, let me know what is your opinion on that, and if you think that it's better to always be in a relationship, or if you feel like this, or what is your stand here. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, and have a nice week, be nice humans, and goodbye.